Hey guys, welcome back to our next unit of learning. This is actually one of my favorite units to go through other than the sports psychology that we just finished because it's actually teaching us how to do program design and fitness testing. I really like this unit because, we always look at measurements and how are we equal or better or worse and how do we set goals, and a lot of that comes from our fitness testing. You think of the NFL combine and all the different tests they do, the 40, the T shuttle run, the bench press, the vertical jump. There's validity and reliability to all of those tests, and that's one thing that we're going to learn in this class. Now, the downfall of us doing this virtually is we're not going to get to go through the actual setting up and participating in the different fitness tests. Hopefully in August or September, when we get back to school, we'll be able to go through those. This unit is very important because some of you might, in your IAs, decide you want to measure different fitness variables as your dependent variable and change your independent variables like hearing and running. Like, does hearing affect the person's run, or does hearing affect reaction time? So these different fitness tests that we get ready to go through in this unit are going to be very important for your knowledge. All right, so to start out with, we're going to concentrate this next week on 6.3, 6.4, and A1. There is another section to this unit, but we will do that the following week of May the 11th. So for next week, May 4 through the 8th, let's concentrate on 6.3, 6.4, and A1. So with 6.3, the first thing that we really have to do is understand health-related fitness and performance-related fitness. So in your notes, you will see in Canvas, right here under your unit notes, if you have a printer, it would be great to print this out and fill them in. If not, you can do it. It's in a document, Word document, so you can do it in Microsoft Word or you can do it in Google Doc. But what you'll need to do for the first section is go through 6.3.1, understanding health-related and skill-related fitness, understanding their similarities and differences, and then outline these components. Why are they important? Why is it important to understand health-related fitness and skill-related fitness? So understanding what they are, their components, and how they affect fitness in general. The last part of 6.3 is going to be you evaluating different fitness testing. Okay, so this is actually going to become an assignment for you. I want you to look up the different fitness tests: Harvard Step Test, Cooper 12-minute run, multi-stage fitness test. This is also called the PACER or the BEEP test. It's the one that all of you love to do in 9th grade PE. But you're going to tell what the component of fitness it's doing. Is it checking aerobic fitness or cardiovascular fitness, or like the sit and reach, is it checking flexibility? Okay, so then you're going to give an example of how it's used in sport. You're going to look up, is it valid, is it reliable, and base that on a high or a low setting. All right, and then what you're going to do after you fill in this chart, it is multiple pages. You can take it out and create your own chart if you would like. You're going to take a screenshot and upload it so I can see and make sure that you fully understand the fitness testing. Okay. So that takes us through 6.3. At the bottom of this section, I've put possible questions you might see on the IB exam. These have been past paper questions within this unit, so I think it's very important that you start preparing yourself now for next spring. All right, and then we get into 6.4. So it doesn't look like a lot, but it is a lot of material. This is probably one of the most important sections as it relates to sports science from a fitness standpoint. All right, then we move into 6.4, which is program design. So understanding what a general training program is, and then the components of the design program. Okay, so then we're going to look at the different fitness components. You're going to write why they are important, and then the different parts to a training program. Like if I have a whole football team in the weight room and I'm wanting them to all get stronger, get faster, or the saying bigger, faster, stronger, how do I do that for a football lineman, a running back, and a kicker? All right, so I have to change these principles of conditioning to meet the goals of each one of those athletes. Okay, the kicker might need more flexibility. The running back might need a lot of lower body strength and speed. And the lineman, they might need some quick power. All right, so then we look at specificity, overload, progression, and we look at changing these principles to aid the athlete. All right, and then the last section of 6.4 is showing you how we train VO2 max. We also look at how we find our target heart rate. This equation has been on almost every IB test I've seen, either as a multiple choice or as looking at a chart and short answer. So make sure you know the Carvonen equation. It's basically 220 minus your age is your maximum heart rate. Take your maximum heart rate minus your resting heart rate, and that gives you your heart rate reserve. And then depending on your training intensity, you multiply that by say 0.65 for 65% or 0.85 for 85%, and then add your resting heart rate back. That will give you a heart rate zone of training. And that's what this means, heart rate zone of training. When we start looking at the heart rate zone, most of our heart rate zone training is going to take place in the aerobic capacity area. When we are working aerobic capacity, we are doing a little bit of glycogen burning and fat burning. So what we're doing here is we're using our carbohydrate source, but we're also using our fat source. The lower the intensity, the longer we have to exercise, but the more fat burning we do, which is why when you do sprints or you do a HIIT program, high intensity exercise program, or you do CrossFit, you don't do a lot of activities for a long period of time. And that's because you're up in this higher end of glycogen burning and working in your upper heart rate zones. All right. Borg scale is RPE, which is rate of perceived exertion. Rate of perceived exertion is how hard is this activity. We typically will use a scale of 1 to 10, but the Borg scale goes all the way up to 20. This is also, that thing that you see in your doctor's offices where they have the smiley faces for you of how do you feel today, with a big happy face or a really big frowny face and crying and stuff. So that this is very subjective. If I don't like running and I'm doing a treadmill test, I might say it's a 10 out of 10 because maybe I want to stop. Or maybe if I really like running, I'm going to say that this is very easy, so you increase the intensity to make me work harder. So that's a downfall of the RPE scale, is it's very subjective. Okay, so we've done 6.3, 6.4. You'll fill your notes in for those. 6.3 for 3.3, you'll take a screenshot of your fitness testing. And then A1 is about training. We need to know the difference in what is training, what is overtraining, what is overreaching, and then talk about different methods of training, and then understand the concept of periodization training. Periodization training is actually a lot of fun when you go to program different athletes. It's what we do in our weight room. It's what we do with our sport teams, whether they're in season or out of season. But we also do it from a perspective of injury management. All right, so in your notes, you will fill in the different sections. Again, for the various training methods, this will be an assignment for A1. You will fill these in, and then take a screenshot and let me see that you fully understand what these different sections are. Okay. And so then you'll fill your notes in. We'll finish with that. And as you can see, this document here has all three components in it, and then I've broken them down into smaller PowerPoints for you. Do not worry right now about A2. We will get to A2 in another week. You can also look at the Fitness Quotient Questionnaire and the fitness testing protocols to help you with 6-3. Again, this is going to be active on May 1st, and you will have all week, the following week, the week of May 4th, to work on these notes. So, like always, if you have any questions, contact me through Remind, shoot me an email. I'm always here for you guys, and good luck with your notes.